All right, happy Tech Tip Tuesday. Today's going to be a fun one. We're going to go into the weeds. We're going to talk about the intricacies of some technology, really get down into it on fiber, okay? Why should we worry about it? Why should we worry about it in our homes? What should we be doing here with fiber, okay? This one's going to be technical. If you're looking for something high level, more simple, why do I need to worry about it? Check out this link down below. We have a link right down here that will take you to the easy video. Talks about it from a high level, what it is, basic stuff. If you like the weeds, if you like talking technical stuff, hang out with me for a few minutes, all right? Well, let's go ahead and get started. So first we're going to look at basically the two different types, and then once we look at the two different types, the subsets of those. All right, so when we're looking at fiber, there's for the most part two different types out there, okay? There's what's called single mode and multi-mode. Single mode is mainly used for long runs. Now long runs is not what you think of where it's 300 or 500 feet. We're talking 2, 3, 5, 10 miles is when we're using the single mode fiber. Single mode fiber is intended for those very long runs. Multi-mode fiber is for shorter runs, basically less than about 1,000 or 2,000 feet. Okay, residential, we're typically running somewhere between 50 to 300 feet, so it will cover anything. You got that gate down the long driveway, multi-mode will get you there. Unless we're talking a couple miles, then we're back to that single mode. Again, to go technical, all that is really difference between these two, single mode is a smaller diameter of glass. Multi-mode, we have a larger diameter of glass, so we can do some other things with that. I won't go specifically into those now. If you have any questions, ask us down below, we'd love to help. But once we break those down, okay, single mode is out. Let's just forget about that for now. We're talking about construction in these areas where we're looking at less than a couple thousand feet, okay? When we're looking at that multi-mode glass, typically we'll see that in two strands, okay? Something like this. So this is a two-strand multi-mode. The other thing, a little side tip for you guys, fiber, different than things like Cat5 and coax and the other cables out there, fiber is color-coded based on what it is. So if you see orange, orange means multi-mode fiber. Whether you like it or not, if it's orange, it's multi-mode. So that's a tip for you to watch out for, okay? The other thing is that in this situation, this one is actually a dual strand. But as everyone knows in our industry, we don't make things easy. So instead of calling it dual strand multi-mode, we call it duplex. Okay, so this is referred to as duplex fiber, obviously duplex for being two. Okay, it's made up of a couple things. We have our outer jacket, which is that orange. We then go into our Kevlar braid on the outside. Okay, that Kevlar is what provides us our strength. Gives us a pull strength of about 230 pounds working load. It's just absolutely crazy. We can actually use this as a pull string for the other wires we're using. Okay, so that's in that Kevlar weave right there, right? Once we go inside the Kevlar weave, then we have our actual fiber strand followed by this outer jacket. So in the camera, hopefully you can see that. That'll come through. That's that orange on the outside. It's called cladding. That cladding is basically to protect that fiber and hold the light inside it, okay? So we have that, and at the very end, which you really can't see in the camera, we'll try and get some close-ups for you here, is the actual glass strand itself, okay? Very, very small in diameter. So what we have is we have this fiber. This is standard, okay? This is what you'd pull in the project. You'd run this through the home, and you're good to go, okay? Once we have the fiber, then we got to figure out what we're going to put on the end of it. When we're talking fiber, there's really only two types of connectors. So it's called SC and LC, okay? I'm not going to go into what they stand for and everything. The way to just think about it, SC is an older, larger connector. LC is smaller and more expensive, okay? No connector is better or worse. They're just different. The great thing is you can change them at any time. As long as you got the fiber in there, if your fiber is terminated with an SC connector, which is something like this, if it's terminated with an SC connector, they can easily be changed to an LC connector. It doesn't damage the fiber. You don't have to worry about it. Easy mid-cycle change, okay? If you're instead going with LC, one of the differences is when we're doing LC connectors, we will use something called an SFP. So that's what this little widget is. I like calling it a widget. This little SFP, what it does, it has two connectors in it, two female connectors for LC connectors. Then this device would plug into whatever device you're trying to control. Okay, whether it be a network switch, an extender, whatever the product is. Now, people like me with a background in engineering immediately looked at this and said, well, that's stupid. Why does this even exist? Let's just get rid of this and let's just build this into the network switch. If you're thinking the same thing as me, I'll give you a tip as to why. So the reason is that these change based on the fiber type, whether it's single mode or multi-mode. You have to change these. You don't want to have to change your whole network gear. You just want to change these things at 50 or 75 bucks. Okay? Again, SFP. So we go fiber to connector to SFP to the device, or we go fiber to SC, and SC can plug directly into the device. Again, depends on the specific situation, right? But the important thing is, as long as you have your fiber in there, you're good to go. Now, the other reason to run fiber that I want to touch on before we close this out, other reason to run fiber is that, in case you aren't aware, for 4K lossless video, meaning that I want all the video and I want lossless audio, so I don't want to lose any of my content. To do that, I need 18 gigabits of speed. That's how fast that data needs to run. Okay, copper, Cat 5, Cat 6, Cat 7, doesn't matter. They all max out at 10.2, right? So immediately then we know 10.2 is less than 18, so we're going to lose information there. They're going to compress it, they're going to shave off some of the audio, some of the video, to be able to get that 4K stream down that pipe. When we run fiber, we can run 18 gig without a problem. And the great thing is, the only reason fiber is stopping at 18 right now is because that's all we need. Remember, we're working with the speed of light at like 180,000 miles per second. So our data transfer rate over fiber is incredible. We're not limited by the fiber, we're limited by the electronics on the end, which again, if you're wiring a home, you can run this through and you're ready to go. No matter what happens down the road, we can change those connectors on the end, change those electric modules on the end, and you're ready to go. You got everything you need. Okay? So, to remind everybody, kind of close it out, single mode, multi-mode. Single mode, forget it, doesn't matter for residential. Multi-mode, typically you want to run 2 strands, so when you have an out and a back. A lot of the newer devices now, they're trying to only need 1, but from a usability standpoint and a functionality standpoint, don't pigeonhole yourself. Just run the extra strand. This stuff's cheap. It's less than $1 a foot. For us, when we install fiber, we will install this in addition to a category cable and maybe a coax cable, and we didn't bill for the labor because we're already making the run, so we will just add this in for our clients. Okay, so again, multi-mode, 2 strands, SFP connectors go on the end, these plug into your device. Connectors in between, you either have an SC connector or an LC connector, and you're ready to go. Okay, last thing I want to mention for you, days past when fiber was installed, the problem was it was incredibly dangerous. I know that sounds crazy, but the glass strands were true glass, and what would happen is if you hit your hand with it, it would actually put a glass fragment in your hand. Not a good time. So you had to be incredibly careful because you had these fragments of glass. Today's newer fiber, this is a product by Clearline. We'll actually put a hot link right down here to Clearline fiber so you can read up on it. Theirs is actually a hybrid polymer fiber, so we still get all the properties of fiber without the safety risks. And the other big thing is we can actually take fiber, and this is exclusive to Clearline. So if you have fiber, don't do this unless it says Clearline on the jacket. We can actually take this fiber, tie it in a knot like that, and this will still pass full 18 gig even tied in a knot. That's how crazy this stuff is. This is why this is what we're starting to see in homes all across the country. We've already multiple homes here in Boise in it. So any questions, let us know. That is all I have for you. Hopefully it was informative. Give us some feedback down below. Let us know what questions you have. Let us know what we can help with. Otherwise, have a great Tuesday.